Dear students, I am M. Sermarajan, MSc B.Ed MPhil, Department of Chemistry. In this video, I am going to explain about lesson number 2, Quantum Mechanical Model of Atom, topic number 1, Introduction to Atom Models. What is meant by the word Quantum Mechanical Model of Atom? Here, in this lesson, we are going to learn elaborately about the structure of atom, atomic structure. We have here the same thing we are going to learn under the heading Quantum Mechanical Model of Atom. Before going into the video, let us gather some basic knowledge about the atom. What are the three subatomic particles present inside the atom? Protons, neutrons and electron. These are the three subatomic particles in which proton is having positive charge, neutron has no charge and electron has negative charge. The proton and neutron are present at the central part of the atom called nucleus. Around the nucleus, electrons are revolving around the nucleus in various orbits. This is what we learnt about the structure of atom right from lower class. In this video, we are going to learn the developmental stages of various atom model by various scientists. The atom model what we are using today is not brought within a day. Behind this, many scientists they came forward with their hard work and they proposed a different model of atom, and based on that today we are using the modern structure about the atom. First thing, what is meant by an atom? Atom is present everywhere. Okay, atom is present everywhere. All the things what we see in and around us are made up of atom. The basic unit that makes all the matter is nothing but atom. The word atom comes from the Greek word which means atomio. The word atomio means indivisible or non-divisible. This is what the first scientist called Dalton, he says in his atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory we have learnt in the lower class. What is the important postulate of a Dalton atomic theory? Atom is considered as a smallest indivisible particle. This is the important postulate of Dalton's theory. But later, the Dalton's theory was disproved by the discovery of the subatomic particles like electron, proton, neutron. According to Dalton, atom is the smallest indivisible particle. But later, after the discovery of subatomic particles like electron, proton, neutron, Dalton's theory was disproved. The second scientist who came forward to give about the structure of atom is J.J. Thomson. He took cathode ray experiment to describe the structure of atom. This is the diagrammatic representation for cathode ray experiment. See, this is a long evacuated glass tube. Long evacuated glass tube. Inside the glass tube, two electrodes are there. One is negatively charged cathode and another one is positively charged anode. Upon passing a high voltage at the anode and cathode and at reduced pressure, a cathode ray get emerged. A ray get emerged at the cathode and it moves towards the anode. Cathode is negative charge and from here the ray is getting emerged and it is moving towards the positively charged anode. When a ray moves towards the positively charged anode, what we can able to say, the ray is completely negative in nature. Okay, that is what he concluded. From this experiment, he concluded that the ray being moving towards the positively charged anode, the ray must want to contain negatively charged electron present in it. Okay, after the ray moved towards the anode, what is going on? Anode is here, we are having a perforated anode. A small hole is there at the middle portion of the anode. Through the small hole, the negatively charged cathode ray penetrates and comes at the other end of the anode. At the other end, what is there? At the opposite end of the evacuated glass tube, a zinc sulfide coated screen is there. A zinc sulfide coated screen is there. So, as soon as the negatively charged cathode ray comes out from the anode, it straight away falls upon the zinc sulfide coated screen and produces fluorescence. Fluorescence means shining appearance upon the screen. This is the important property of the cathode ray, that is cathode ray travels in straight line. Okay, now what I am going to do, I am going to place a negatively charged electrode and a positively charged electrode in the pathway of the cathode rays. What happens when the electric field is placed in the pathway of the cathode ray get deviated towards the positive electrode. The cathode ray get deviated towards the positive electrode. Here is the positive electrode, no? So it get deviated towards the positive electrode. It shows that the cathode ray have negatively charged particle. Similarly, when I place magnetic field in the pathway of the cathode ray, it also produces certain deflection. So the deflections were produced when electric field is placed in the pathway of cathode ray and the magnetic field is placed in the pathway of the cathode ray. So based on that, Thomson concluded that atom consists of negatively charged particle called electron. So according to J.J. Thomson, the model of the atom would be like this. This is called as Thomson's plum pudding model of atom. Here, according to him, atom is nothing but a sphere of positive charge. Sphere fully made up of positive charge in which negatively charged electrons are embedded. Okay, so sphere full and full, the sphere is consists of positive charge only, and into the positive charge, the electrons are embedded. This is the Thomson pudding model of atom. It looks like that of the watermelon fruit. Okay, but this model was disproved by the next scientist called Rutherford. According to Rutherford, we know very well, nucleus is present at the central part of the atom, and inside the nucleus the positively charged protons will be there, and around the nucleus electrons will be revolving around it. That is what we are going to see in the next topic. So after the discovery of Rutherford alpha ray scattering experiment, Thomson's model of plum pudding was disproved. Let us go to the next heading, Rutherford alpha ray scattering experiment. Here, what is meant by the word alpha ray? Alpha ray means helium nucleus. Helium with atomic number 2 and mass number 4. This is called as alpha ray. Alpha ray or beta ray or gamma ray can be emitted by any of the radioactive substance. So what we are going to do here, Rutherford took a radioactive substance and it is made to emit alpha rays. The radioactive substance emits alpha ray. The alpha ray emitted by the radioactive substance is allowed to fall on the thin gold foil. Foil means tagad, thin plate of gold. Okay, the entire gold foil will contain gold atoms present in it. Proton, neutron, electrons of gold atoms will be present in that particular gold foil. So now the alpha particles are made to fall on the gold foil. As a result, what will happen? Most of the alpha particles are passed through the foil without any deflection. Second thing, some of them were deflected through a small angle. Third thing, very few particles were reflected back by 180 degree. So let us see the same with the help of this diagram. Alpha rays are emitted by the alpha rays are emitted by the radioactive substance. Those alpha ray are made to fall on the gold atom. So it is clear from this diagram that most of the rays are passing through the atom without any deflection. Some of the rays alone get deflected at a small angle and very few rays are reflected back. The ray that is passing at the central part of the alone getting reflected. The ray that is passing near to the central part of the atom gets deflected. The ray which is passing away from the central part of the atom remains undeflected. So based on this, Rutherford come to the conclusion that in an atom there is a tiny positively charged nucleus at the central part of the atom. It contains nucleus which has positively charged at the central part of the atom, and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus with high speed. This is the first observation did by Rutherford. Second one, as per electromagnetic radiation, a moving particle should continuously loses its energy in the form of radiation. Here the electrons are revolving around the nucleus with a constant speed. As a result, as per electromagnetic radiation, the electron has to lose its energy. So therefore, when a moving electron loses its energy and finally collide with the nucleus and resulting in the collapse of the atom. So see this diagram. As per this diagram, this is the electron. As per Rutherford observation, the electron while revolving around the nucleus, it will emits its energy in the form of radiation, and finally it loses its energy completely and it just fall inside the nucleus and the entire atom will get collapsed. This is what the important observation of Rutherford, but this does not happen so far in any of the atom. And one more important drawback of the Rutherford model is it does not talk about the distribution of electrons around the nucleus and their energy. What we are learning about the structure of atom today contain many orbits around the nucleus. In those orbits, electrons are revolving with the constant energy. But the Rutherford model of atom does not talk about the distribution of electrons in various energy levels and around the nucleus. So this is the important drawback of the Rutherford model of atom. Thank you.